As the backlash grows to Elon Musk's attempts to slash the government, our next guest argues efforts to cut the federal system could end up having the opposite effect. Joining us now, opinion columnist at Bloomberg, Catherine Edwards. Her latest piece is entitled "Doge Just Might Usher In New Era of Big Government." So thank you for writing this, and I want to understand, is it the reaction and the real stories out there that might create that backlash?
I mean, polling has already indicated just how repulsed many Americans are by the actions taking place at federal agencies that maybe they might not have said that they loved, but they depended on their services, depended on it to be there, and there's not much room for the pendulum to go. We've had for years a federal government that has been held in a vise of politicians making not adequately funded to deliver the services they would like, but kept at a minimum. We're seeing now the pendulum switch to as bare bones and cut as possible, and so the only place for it to go is back up.
Yeah, and some of these cuts, Steve, we've been following this, are very palpable for people, and unlike in the run-up to the election, where everyone was accusing the other side of being the reason for inflation or whatever, this is very clearly Trump's game. Trump owns these.
Sure. I think you're starting to see, and you'll continue to see, and I think it's going to be tough for the administration politically, the actual impact of these cuts on people's daily lives when they can't get Social Security on the phone, when they can't get other services they need, when they see cutbacks in the national parks, whatever. They're going to start to feel this in a very personal way. And I think that Catherine is right that we're going to see a backlash against that, and people are going to call for all this stuff to be restored. How far it goes and whether the pendulum actually swings further back from where it was before all this started, I think is a question mark. But at least I think you're going to find that this kind of massive shrinking of the government is not going to survive.
Catherine, in your reporting, do you also look at the discussion, very open discussion, and seemingly they don't seem to understand the impact on Social Security? A couple of major key players, from Lutnick to Elon Musk, talking about Social Security being on the chopping block.
There was a recording leaked from the acting commissioner of the Social Security Administration where he talks very candidly about the Doge kids, as he calls them, and he says things like, listen, they're learning, they're going to make mistakes, which is an admission. I mean, the Social Security, the only mistake they can make is either with your tax dollars, your benefits, or your data. And he's basically acknowledging that they don't know what they're doing and you can't expect them to do a good job. I thought the most chilling part of the leaked audio was at the very end, where he says, after leading Social Security under Doge, he knows he'll never have another job again. That gives you some type of indication of what kind of cuts and changes they're going to make to the administration when given a candid chance to discuss it. I don't think Americans want to see Social Security Administration or its service decline to that degree. I mean, people who are 90 years old don't want to upload a document to the internet. They want to give it to someone or call someone. That's not going to change. How do you make a 95-year-old or a 90-year-old more efficient by the Doge kids' standards? You can't.
We'll be reading the new piece online now for Bloomberg opinion columnist Catherine Ann Edwards. Thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it.